That's right, fellas. We're gonna jump into this picanha in the Old Smokey. Spring has sprung. All the flowers are nice and blooming. Everything's smelling delicious, nice and very springy-like. Flowers are opening. Bees are buzzing. So let's get into this cook. Pop open a garum. It's all about that garum. Some good SPG. Chud's SPG. Some olive oil. And the knife required for the project today, guys. We are going to get this thing cracking after I sharpen it on my Bavarian edge tool. Link in the description. What I have here is a couple of picanhas. They're both around 2 pounds. Just some choice cuts I found over at HEB. And I am going to attempt to cook these today, guys. This is my very first time doing picanha. So I'm going to try to keep it simple. Just bare minimal trimmage here, guys. Little bit off the top. That fat cap was pretty hard in some spots, and I just took some off. Now, guys, traditionally, you're always hearing people about cutting it with the grain, right? If you're going to be cutting individual steaks. But I'm going to cut them against the grain because I plan on putting them on some churrascadas, on some churrascos. I believe the Brazilians call them the churrascadas. But I'm going to go against the grain because when it's coiled over and I slice it, the shavings are going to be against the grain after it's coiled. You'll see what I'm talking about here in a minute. I know it was kind of confusing. I confused myself thinking about it. But I got it done. So, again, it's going to be folded like that, and the shavings will be across the grain. Now, if I was cooking them individual steaks like this, I would have cut them with the grain, so that when I eat them, I can cut them across the grain. I hope that makes sense. It took me a minute to understand it. So that's the plan. I'm going to go in just a little light coat of olive oil, that SPG, on all sides. I was going to try to do it with just salt, man, but I'm a Texan. I got to do the SPG at least. And I'm putting it on the churrascadas, on the churrasco, or the churrascara, I believe is what the Brazilians call it, churrascara. And this is what it looks like after I finished putting them on these little skewers here. They smell absolutely fantastic. I can't wait to cook these things. I'm going to put them in the fridge overnight so that the next day, all I got to do is manage the fire. All this prep work is done the night before. So let's put them to bed into the fridge overnight. Next day, guys, let's see what this Old Smokey can do with this cook. Like this little Old Smokey. Been using it a lot lately. I'm going to open it up at the bottom, wide open. I want this fire kind of hot. I would have put my Kingsford Blue biscuits in there. Shout out to Daddy Dutch BBQ for sending me this delicious bottle of Kingsford lighter fluid. Thank you for that, buddy. So I let it soak in for about 8 minutes. I'm going to go in with my Joe Chef little torch here. Crank it open. And just pull the trigger. Nice little torch here. I'll put the link in the description where you can get yourself one. They actually came out with a version 2, version 3, I think. Nice little torch. And we got flame up. And now I'm just checking up on that fire. I know it's going to be pretty hot, guys. I'm cooking pretty close to it. I'm not going to be using the grill grate, but I am going to put an extra skewer right there so that these can reach to the other side. So that's the whole plan. This is how I'm going to cook them the entire time. I'm just going to kind of turn them myself manually. At least two to three skewers at a time. At least that's what I started with, but the heat got kind of up there. It got kind of hot. So eventually I ended up just doing like one at a time for the end of the cook. But guys, this was smelling absolutely fantastic. I was out there manually turning these skewers, getting them nice and hot, getting that fat cap nice and toasty and rendered. And man, they picked up a dark color, but I guarantee you, when you sliced into these things, man, when you shaved them, they were beautiful on the inside. And so I just started turning them, trying to get that heat on them, but not so much in one spot at the same time. Don't want to get it too concentrated. And I am coming in with that chimichurri, putting it on that flame. I had just a little bit left from my previous batch, so I'm just putting it on these steaks here. Absolutely fantastic, guys. This smelled really, really good while it was cooking. Little Old Smokey is doing a fantastic job. Burning those biscuits. And I think it was all because of that lighter fluid. That lighter fluid, man, that knocked it out. Man, that was insane. Just take a look at that deliciousness. I'm down to the last skewer at this point, guys, and I'm just gonna turn it. I'm out there chilling, hanging out, physically turning. And I think next time I'm gonna put one of my rotisseries on top of this thing. I have a few extra rotisseries out there that I'm pretty sure I can rig something up, make it work. And at this point, guys, they were done. They hit a nice temp at 125, 130 internal. Okay, they were pretty dark on the outside, but when you slice into them and you shave it, I mean, they're absolutely fantastic. Nice and tender. And we plated these up with Caesar salad and some of the shavings, and man, it was just absolutely delicious. So I'm coming in just to slice, kind of try to shave some with my Shogun series red handle Delstrom knife. Super sharp, very sharp knives, guys. And I'm coming down and tasting it, and it was absolutely fantastic. Nice charriness on the outside, deliciousness on the inside. It was perfectly seasoned. I honestly think it could have used a little more salt. So off camera, I actually sprinkled some more salt on top of them. And man, they were absolutely fantastic. I'll definitely try this again, but I don't think I'm going to do it on the churrascos next time. I think next time I'm just going to cook it as a whole steak or individual steaks and try it that way. But it was absolutely fantastic. I appreciate you guys watching. 2 thumbs up on this cook. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out.